Stroud what they call the sophomore slump, right? Do you think that they're saying that because of the offensive line? Do you think it's C.J. Stroud? Do you think it's a bit of both? Like, where are
It
the issues arising from?
honestly, it's a mixture of honestly all the above. I'm gonna put the
Mhm.
blame even on our offensive coordinator Bobby Slowik because he's been like we thought he was something great last year, but that's because
Mhm.
nobody knew who we were. But this year his play calls just have been terrible. The scheme's been terrible, and some of the schemes have led to injury. Like last year, we had a
Mhm.
1 yard we were at the 1 yard line to get a touchdown. We ran the ball, but what did the scheme have? It had Tank Dell blocking, and what happened when we got that touchdown? Tank Dell got hurt and was out for the season. And look what happened just last
Yeah.
week against the Chiefs. He had a go route all the way to the end zone, and on the scheme he had another receiver just going straight down towards the end zone, the same route
Yeah.
that Tank Dell was running. And what happened? Another injury, and that's because not because of the player, but because of the scheme and the
Mhm.
play call. And it's like I don't know what Bobby Slug's really doing, and even in a way, I can blame the scheme and the play call on Stephon Diggs' injury, because there's just a scheme like the scheming of it is just so terrible, honestly, to where it can lead to injuries or sacks, easy sacks, and that's why CJ's literally second in the most sacks because there's just been, of course, due to the O line, which is the main issue, and
Yeah.
because of play calls. But I will put blame on CJ as well. That's why I say all the above because he's had more interceptions than he did last year in a couple games, and then and when I was watching the Ravens game, like he just looked flustered. He just overthrew a lot of people. He just underthrows a lot of people, and I'm like, man, what is going on? And it just looks like it's getting all to his head. The offense line, the play calls, it's just feeling like he lost his confidence, which is a scary thing because nobody should lose their confidence like that. Because
Yeah.
last year, if you look at both years, to this year does not look like who CJ was last year with the emotions, with the confidence. Like it's sad to say, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, I wish my quarterback wasn't looking this way. And there were times where I was talking bad about CJ because I was like, you cannot be playing like this, like because he sometimes goes to the
Mhm.
sideline and is emotionless, especially when the defense gets a touchdown or pick or an interception fumble. He doesn't get up excited. He just gets up like, okay, whatever. And it's one of those things where it's like this year has
Mhm.
just been a sophomore slump for everybody, honestly, including him.
Yeah, I think that's something like you said. I mean, Tank Dell, right? The injury that happened against Kansas City was, I mean, that was, I mean, I was watching on my television and, at the time it's just horrific. Like back-to-back years where you deal with injuries and, you got to feel for these NFL players that go through that. And Tank Dell, like you said, Bobby Slowik just calling plays that causes Tank Dell to get hurt, right? You blame that on the offensive coordinator. And obviously, you guys are going to make the playoffs. That's official. You guys clinched the
Yeah.
division. So, as you as a fan, you kind of see that Bobby Slowik will probably end up continuing to be the offensive coordinator next year.
Honestly, no, because
Yeah.
I know as a coach, D'Amico Ryans, I know as the GM Nick Casario, I know they hear the news, I know they hear the media. They're always questioning what Bobby Sloak is doing. Like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Because there's been
Mm,
certain situations where Bobby Sloak could have changed some stuff up to win games this year, but he didn't. He never tries to change anything. And the thing that kind of ticks me off is like a certain point that I'll call him out for is our coach D'Amico Ryans. He's a full defensive head coach, and which is good. That we've always been a defensive team, but it's to the point where I feel as if D'Amico Ryans lets Bobby Slow do whatever he wants, like because he doesn't care too much about the offense. It's like he's a
yeah.
defensive minded head coach, so I feel as if he's given the reins to Bobby Slow too much. Or it's like if he slips up, D'Amico's gonna be like, "Oh, it's fine, it's okay. We're gonna just take it to the next game," which is something that we've been sort of getting tired of hearing every press conference. It's been, oh, we're just going to take it to the film room and go into next week, which it's like, no, we got to address because throughout this whole year, we've been waiting. Like, is Bobby going to get fired this year? Is he going to get fired through the season? Because, in a way,
Yeah.
we a lot of fans that are critical of Bobby Sloak, we kind of wanted to be like the Bills, where they fired their offense coordinator and brought in somebody else, which we would have brought like the replacement would have been our quarterback coach, Stroud Johnson, who we've been waiting to see if he could do something. But at this point, we got to wait for the offseason because Or
Mm.
there ain't no point in trying to fire Bobby at the end of the season, especially with playoffs next week.